You good? Oh, we're recording. Oh, sure, we're recording. Well, hello everybody. This is Chen from buildamagneticnetwork.com. I know I have not done an interview in quite a long time, and you can see this handsome-looking gentleman here. He usually has his hair down, crazy eyes, and you probably know who he is. He does this, and then you buy stuff. Anyhow, this is David Wood. If you don't know who he is the co-founder of Empower Network, and he's been through about 100 different network marketing companies over the years, and eventually he launched his own. And I'm sitting here with him at the Mandarin Hotel here in Singapore. I actually travel here at a minute's notice. Well, not really a minute's notice, like maybe 24 hours. And he said he's coming in, and we're chatting on Skype. He said, "You want to come?" I said, "Sure." And here I am. So, without further ado, here's David Wood. I'm going to have him tell you a little bit about his story and how he got from where he was before. I mean, this is a fascinating story. So here's David.
And just so you guys know, I got a little bit of a cough, so if I start hacking my lung up or something like that, I apologize. I mean, I'm talking loud enough for this.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
So I got started network marketing in 2002. Actually, in Amway. He gave me a little echinacea spray thing for my throat because I'm coughing. I caught a little cold in Costa Rica or something like this. And I got started in Phoenix, Arizona. Mm-hmm. I called my sponsor. I'd just gotten back from a 2-year mission trip, and I said, how do I get rich? And he said,
"Is that what you said?"
Yeah. I said, "How do I get rich in Amway?" And he started laughing, and he says, "Well, make a list of everybody you know, invite them over to your house for a meeting." Right?
How long ago was this?
2002.
2002.
Right? 2002.
Okay.
So the problem is that I didn't know anybody because I just moved to Arizona, and all my family and friends were in Alaska, and I didn't have a house. I had an apartment with no furniture in it. So I said, this isn't going to work very well. I don't have friends or family to invite. The only brother I have in town is in Amway. He got me in. And he says, well, then you need some new family and friends. And so he says, wander around at Walmart, shopping mall, Safeway, meet people. Mm-hmm. So that's when I got started in network marketing. That's 2002. Failed for 3 years. And I quit that business and I joined another business thinking, it's Amway's fault. It must not work, because it's too late. So I'm going to join something earlier. So I joined a new company, and then I failed at that thing. And then I was like, it must be this thing, right? I'm going to join something new. So then I finally got into a thing that was like brand new. This was 2006. And I'd made no money in network marketing for whatever. I think it's the Amway tapes. You drive around listening to them, and then you just you can't forget them. You know what I mean?
And you just can't quit.
You hear the story about the engineer that's making $30,000 a month, and it gets in your brain, and you get mad every time you're at work, and you have to listen to your boss talking some dumb story to you. And so I just kept going and going and going, and I kept trying new stuff. And then in 2006, I joined this new deal, right? And this is what happened. This is a unique experience at a point in my life. Is this time I was like, this is ground floor, and it still didn't work, right? So I still went out and I tried the same stuff and it didn't work, but everyone around me was succeeding now. Right. So it was like my sponsor was making $20,000 a month, their sponsor was making like $60,000 a month, and here I was broke still, right? So I kind of looked at that and I said, maybe there's something wrong with me, right? And that's always the magical point when you say, I'm in charge of my own success.
Right. It's me.
It's me. Yeah, it's like, I'm the weird one. Right. Wait, maybe the reason my relatives don't want to talk to me is because I'm annoying. That might be the reason why. So then I actually had a little bit of success in that company. I built an organization. I learned some skills, and then I got married in 2007. My wife, she's laying on the floor right there. She's getting a little bit of a neck massage. And then I stopped doing network marketing, and my income went to nothing. Right? She remembers. So in any case, then I had a couple odd jobs here and there. Then 2009, I wanted to get back in network marketing, but I just didn't want to do that old stuff anymore. I didn't want to do home meetings and three-way calls. I hate three-way calls, despise them, and I just didn't want to do it. I'd met your buddy Tom, Tom Challen. He knows Tom Challen real well. A lot of you guys probably know Tom as well. And Tom was one of the first guys I ever met that could recruit 2 people a day in an hour and then take the phone up. You know what I mean? And I said, I want to build a business kind of like that, but on the internet. I want to recruit people and not do anything, right? So how can I make money and not do anything was my goal. And that got me started in 2009. I started with nothing. I was living in a van. I had no money, but I knew that I could recruit.
Can you tell that story a little bit? Because I thought that was so fascinating. He literally lived in a van.
I lived in a van. It was a green 1996 Dodge Caravan. I can't lie because my wife's right there. And then, I was working at Greenpeace, hitting people up on street corners, asking them for money for monthly donations. That was my job. I got fired from that job. and so, here I was with no money, no resources. And so I was like, well, I'm going to go do network marketing again. Let's go live with my parents. And my wife went, she got a job as a hostess so we could pay our bills, which weren't really anything because I was living in a tiny room with my parents, and I had an office that was about the size of this couch, and I'd sit in there all day, and I smelled real bad after a couple of months of that, and I'd sit there and type away on the internet. Well, what I did was I took what worked really well for me in doing meetings, because I learned how to sell through meetings, and I just did it online. Right, that was the only difference. There's nothing really. People say all the time, they're like, Dave, I can't do the internet because it's technical. There's nothing technical about the internet. What's technical about YouTube? Is it technical to hit a button that says upload and upload a video? Is it technical to push record on a camera? No, there's nothing technical about it whatsoever. Everything today has intuitive interfaces, right? Online, you don't need to know anything. I still don't know how the internet works today, right? So, but I just started putting videos up. I started putting, I started writing articles. I started blogging. I started doing a lot of things that you do, and I learned as I went. Well, what happened is real soon, I started to recruit 2 people a day. And I think there's a magic, and if you're watching this video, this is the magic of network marketing, is whatever your intentions are, that's what you'll create. Whatever your intentions are, that's what you'll create. Some people have an intention of making a lot of money. Making a lot of money is cool. You know what I mean? If you want to make a lot of money, you really work, and learn some skills, you're going to make a lot of money, probably if you stick around long enough, right? Because network marketing just pays better than most stuff, right? Sure. So you make a lot of money here. However, a lot of people make money and they run themselves ragged, and all they do is work. And I didn't want that. I wanted to make money and have a life at the same time. So that's what I wanted to create. So I built a business off of recruiting. Well, 3 months later, I had my first week. I made over $25,000. Ever since that, I've made over $30,000 a month. This is back in 2009. This is from living in a van. So a lot of times, people see this and they're like, "Yeah, okay, I got it." But you've been doing this for years or whatever. You've got you got a big list. Of course, you're going to succeed. You know what I mean? Well, I didn't when I started. You know what I mean? And this is a funny thing about the internet is people are like, the only people who make money on the internet are people with huge lists. It's like, well, everybody with a huge list at one point had 0 on their list.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like in traditional network marketing. Somebody says, oh yeah, he succeeded because he brought his team to a new deal. It's like, well, one day, like a long time ago, he actually started with no team. You know what I mean? They started from 0 like you. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse. When people see, and this is a beautiful thing, if you're watching this video, is when you stop taking excuses from yourself, you can't take them from another human being. Sometimes that makes people real uncomfortable because they try to tell you every reason why they can't. And you just got to look there. You got to be the asshole kind of who looks them in the eye and says, I had that same excuse except for I didn't make it. That was the difference between me and you, right? So sometimes you make people extremely uncomfortable when you just can't take excuses. Somebody says, I don't have any money. I say, well, stop. Don't be a wussy. Come up with money. I actually had this great question one time. I was on the phone with a guy and I was, on the phone. I was recruiting somebody into a deal. It was about $500. I was recruiting 2 people a day into that thing. And like clockwork, almost everybody I talked to was joining. And I was on the phone. The guy says, I don't have $500. And I stopped and I said, how old are you, man? The guy says, I'm like 31. I said, you're 31, you don't have $500. Paused. Yeah. Said, you got a problem. Isn't it time to solve that? You want to be 41 and not have $500? You want to be 51 and not have $500? You got a problem. I used to have a problem too. Mm. Get your credit card out, John. Sign them up anyway, right? And here's the thing, guys. When you don't take excuses from yourself, you can't take them from another human being. So that's back in 2009. But I ran into some issues, right, in marketing where I made a lot of money. And this is a common thing with internet marketers is in network marketers. People think when you learn an extraordinary skill, that the way to make your team succeed is to teach them the extraordinary skill, right? If you're a great presenter, you think, well, this is how I make money. And so if I teach my team to be a presenter like me, then they're going to make a lot of money too. Well, the problem is that sometimes we're disconnected from the fact that at one point we were new like this person, and it took us a long time to learn that skill, right? So what I tried to do is I tried to teach people all this complicated stuff that I know how to do.
And that's not a promise of network marketing.
It messed up my team. So I made a lot of money, and all the skilled people make a lot of money, and all the average people in between made nothing because they were trying to figure out something that took me a long time to learn, right? So what happened is that was a problem because everybody's trying to teach people how to be attraction marketing. Look, I love attraction marketing. Here's the truth, right? Attraction marketing. Sometimes I bash it a little bit, and here's why. It's because you got 8,000 gurus making no money, all trying to recruit each other into each other's deals. Mm-hmm. It's the funniest, stupid thing you've ever seen in your life, right? And the reality is attraction marketing is cool when it's real. But the reality is if you try to take attraction marketing and teach it to a person who has no skill, they make less money than if they wandered around in Walmart passing out DVDs. That's the truth.
It is.
And you know, because you've done it for years. That when you're new, it's like if you take a baby and you try to skip diapers and just give him Air Jordans and give him a basketball and say, go slam dunk. That's what you're doing, right? He can do it. He's a baby and he needs diapers, and then he kind of needs like training diapers, and then he needs to learn how to sit on a toilet, and then they learn to walk, and then they learn to run and sprint, and then later when they're tall they play basketball. You don't take a baby and have them like jumping on trampolines doing backflips when they're 2 months old. This is the world of network marketing. When somebody's new, you need to give them something that can make money now with no skill. So that's what I changed in my business. But also, I had some issues where people who understand the internet don't understand building a culture and building a team.
Yes.
Right? Because you got a guy who's a guru who does the product launches, right? Well, it's cool. You make a lot of money doing product launches. But you know the problem with product launches are? It burns out markets. Everybody hates them after the fourth one. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you got to build a new list all the time. So all these internet guys, they have like these massive amounts of sales, and nobody follows them for a long time. Mm-hmm. And so I was around these guys, they just constantly, it's like launch after launch after launch after launch after launch. They're like hot new thing, hot new thing, hot new thing. And nobody understood how to build culture and build teams. And then the last problem I ran into was nobody could make money. Mm-hmm. Because I was earning these like little weenie ass commissions. But you get like, let's build a team of 1,000 people to make $1,000 a month. Well, that's pretty cool. But here's what I want you to do for a second. I want you to visualize 1,000 people. We had 1,000 people in Austin, right? It's a lot of people. I mean, take us and multiply it by 500. You got 1,000. I mean, this is a lot of people that you're talking to build. And this is what it takes for people to make residual incomes that are really tiny. And that's not insulting network marketing. It is what it is, right? What it's saying is the amount of numbers you need to move to make a small amount of money is just humongous. And so for me, well, I'll move the numbers. It's like, okay, I got to get 1,000, well, I'll get 5. For a person that's new, though, to expect them to be able to make money like that, they got to just visualize 1,000 people in a room, and that might, in a good deal, create a $5,000 a month income. You just know how it is, right? Sure. So the leaders in network marketing have lots of sources of income usually. They sell tools. We got an operations guy back here who helped Amway expand into certain parts of Asia. And he was saying when Amway brought him back here, they said, okay, don't let these guys sell tools in this market. It destroys it, right? But they sell tools, all these other incomes, because you need so many people in a downline to make money, right? So what I want people to do is I want people to be able to get started with no skill and make money like that. And I wanted people who were skilled, right, to be able to make a lot of money because their team's succeeding. And I want it to be fair. Because I've always been in stuff where it's not fair. It's like, you're the guy producing all my business. I'm like, thanks for the business. Here's 30%.
Right.
And he's the one producing the business. Well, the problem is that what happens is after a while, you say, why don't I just do this myself?
Exactly.
And then you end up creating an army of competition that hates each other's guts. Well, what I wanted to do is create something fair. So that's why we started Empower Network, is to take what's been working for me extraordinarily well and to put it in the hands of people. To where they can just use it. They just do it. And it was an idea, and I thought it would work remotely well. I thought people would make money because I built it after how I was already making money. So I knew I'd make money, and I also knew my leaders would make more money than they were already making, but how much they'd make. Mm-hmm. And just as an income disclosure, we don't guarantee incomes of any kind whatsoever. Every page of our site has a link with average earnings. Everywhere that we have earnings claims, you put a link to it too. Mm-hmm. We have a link to our earnings disclosure. You can actually look at averages. We don't promise anything here. I just was surprised at how many people honestly made money. We put 10,000 people in our first month. We had like 15 people over 10,000 a month. Right now we have 23,000 active people is what we have. Who are paying a subscription of some kind. We've got 52 people over 8,000, enough to make 100,000 a year, and 52 people. We're here in Malaysia. We had a kid. You met the kid the 15-year-old. We have a 15-year-old kid with Crohn's disease. Okay, who's making the equivalent of 30,000 a month in the United States. It's not 30,000 a month. It's like 10,000 a month. I think
10,000, but if you adjust for cost of living, it feels like it's 30 grand.
Yeah, it's like, but he's Crohn's disease and he's 15 years old. I mean, you look at him, he looks 15 too. You know what I mean? I said, you're kidding me. And there's another guy in the room. He's like, I don't know if I could do this. And I was like, there's a kid right here who's 15. I mean, he's 15 years old. And so we got these extraordinary stories that have come from here because our model is built to favor the people. So sometimes people say, well, Dave, you're not paying 100% commissions because how's the company making money? Well, we have an affiliate fee that pays for the company, right? It's $20 a month we require for people, you know. And to be truthful, we don't make money from that. That pays for the company and the infrastructure and expansion. And our money, all of it so far, has come from building a business like we teach you to do. So as an affiliate of my own company, our income this month is like 260 or 270 or 280,000. I don't know the exact number. It's like 200. It's like 20 days in the month. It's like 200 over $250,000 as affiliates. So the difference is that when we say to do something, and we say that it works, I can only speak for myself when I'm saying something works. I'm only teaching you stuff that I'm actually doing that's creating income, selling the stuff using the same systems and tools and processes that we're telling you to sell stuff with. Make sense? It's a little different.
Sure. So I have a question for you. If somebody is currently building a network marketing business, okay, let's just say Amway or ACN or whatever, right?
Sure.
They look at your company, Empower Network, and they say, oh, this seems promising. I know it is, but let's just say they're looking at it for the first time, and they get their gears turning, and they're thinking, how can I use this to help me build my Amway business or ACN or whatever, right? Okay. Now we know it pays good commissions. We know it can generate leads like crazy. How do you take somebody from not really succeeding in the industry in general to go from that to building, say, Empower as a vehicle to generate leads and commissions? And of course, you teach them to reinvest into their business to generate more leads and more commissions.
Sure.
But how do they take their Empower leads and turn those people into their teammates in whatever network marketing company they're promoting?
Well, yeah, sure. And this is something that is excuse me, it's largely a skill issue. But let me actually just talk from a couple of base perspectives. First of all, we don't care if you build multiple things in Power Network because the fact is we know you're going to do it anyways. You know?
Right. The average number.
It's like
five different opportunities. You know? I think in the U.S. the average person is in 5 different opportunities.
All the
they don't even know.
Companies, they say, do not do multiple things, and all their team is like, don't tell Amway we're in also this deal. I mean, but everybody does lots of things. I mean, people do lots of things anyways, and you have multiple streams of income anyways. And so with the Power Network, you just do whatever you want as long as it's not, as long as you're not like we don't rabidly go after other people's Empower teams here. So we don't want you to, like, if you have a team, to be like, okay, now I'm in, now let's call everybody and get them into this hot new deal. That's not a good strategy. Here's what is a good strategy, though. How is network built? And this is the question that we need to go back to as a root. Okay, how's a good network built? It's relationships, right? And we talk about it all the time. In old school networkers, we call them the old school because they say, make a list of your family and friends, which are your relationships, and call them. Well, that works if you've got a lot of well-connected relationships. If I call you up and I say, I guarantee you now, this is the first time I think we've been into something together, okay? But I guarantee you now, I can't guarantee you'd get in, but I guarantee if I called him tomorrow and I said, hey, look, you need to look at something, guaranteed he'd look at it. Right? Everybody I called would. And I've got thousands of people like that. The difference between somebody who can recruit and build a large team and somebody who struggles is the quality and quantity of the relationships that they have. And the best way to build relationships with a lot of people who have similar interests in you is to get involved with something like this where you can make money and you can build relationships with people. And when the time is right, people always shift and change. We like to pretend they don't. We like to pretend like the world is this magical, mystical place. Right, where everybody stays in one thing for 40 years and has one career, right? It's just not the way that it is. People have 26 jobs by the time they're 65 today, and just in North America. You know what I mean? People graduate college, and then the stuff they learned last year is invalid tomorrow, right? People get in lots of things all the time, right? People are CEOs of different companies. People manage different organizations. Networkers are in 5 deals. They build one deal, they get sick of it, they start building another, and stuff happens. Let me give you an example. I was in a company, it was a personal development company. You remember that? Right?
I know which one it is.
Yeah. And first time I was making money ever. And I was like, I made it. Right? One day my company owner called me. He says, Dave, we're quitting.
And I remember that too.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I got a team. What are you talking about? You know, I mean, I had a meeting going on in Australia with 200 people. In Arizona, there's a meeting with 200 people. Another meeting going on at the same time as I got this call. I had 3 meetings going on with 600 people in different rooms around the world I was calling into in the next couple of hours. I had a guy who I just recruited my second person for the day, personally, right? And he said, sorry. And then as I was talking, I get this email that says, you know, a notice to reps. We just decided to quit network marketing. So I just got a guy, this is a funny story. I had a guy join 5 minutes before, and he sent me an email back, and he said, that's the fastest I've taken a deal down.
Oh my God.
So I just
5 minutes.
I had no notice, right? So, but here's the thing. There was another deal some friends of mine were in, right? I'd never wanted to join this thing, ever, right? But now I have this big team. I'm displaced. I'm influential, right? So here's what I do. I say, my team needed to do place. I look on my Skype for the next person that was in this thing. I was just honestly looking for who do I know who's in this thing, because I knew it was growing. And I see, oh, here we go. Click on the thing, made a phone call, said, give me your link. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, the more relationships you've got, let me tell you another story. There's a guy who's here just a second ago giving my wife a neck massage, Curtis. That sounds weird. Guy getting my wife a neck massage. On the floor there. Laying down, giving this when we start the video. Anyways, they just had a thing happen where they have relationships all over the world. Well, a big team in Israel, and something happened. You got a phone call about 4 weeks ago, and the phone call went something like this. Curtis? Yeah? My team that's doing, a couple $1 million a month needs a home. I said, okay. Let's get you started. Right? Now, that's an easy way to put an organization together that does a couple $1 million a month. Sales, how do you do things like that? You do that by having a lot of quality relationships, and we can never do that by insulting other people's deals, right? So if somebody's like an Amway, for example, I just use Amway because everybody's been in it, everybody knows it. I'm holding like some Amway throat spray because he builds Amway in Asia, right? But, I like it. I think it's cool, right? But, it's like, somebody in one thing is not going to want to join another thing, right? But it's the quality and the quantity of relationships that you have with people you're connected to. If I go and I say, don't join Amway, it's awful, I failed, right? What does it do? You know who you piss off? This is what you guys got to realize. You know who you piss off? You piss off the best people. Because the people with teams, even if they join your deal, if you insult their deal and they do join your deal later, they don't join with you. They join with people like me who don't insult their things. Exactly. Yeah.
I had an interesting conversation this morning with a leader from the company. We were talking about building a system and making money and promoting products. And this leader is in Market America, right? Mm-hmm. They have this thing called OPC3 or whatever, antioxidant product. And I used to take it and I liked it. And I had to make sure she understands the difference between loving a product and making money. And I said, you can continue to love the product, but you can still make money. If you're not making money with Market America right now, I can teach you how to make money somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if you want to continue to build Market America, this deal is going to help you build a better business over there. Yeah. And there's thousands of stories like that. Right. I think people fall in love with the products, but they're frustrated with a lot of different things like the comp plan or how to approach people. And then they get into an internet deal where, like what Dave was saying earlier, right? You were saying, yeah, these internet marketing guys, they have product launch after product launch after product launch, and people buy these products, but they can never figure out a way to integrate that into their real business.
Yeah.
And that's where the frustration come in. So while you were saying just now, I was just thinking, that's how things work. Don't put down people's business.
Yeah.
Because they have emotional attachment to their business.
There's two ways to put together a sales presentation, a way that works and just a way that's stupid. I mean, if you want to talk about a stupid way, let's just get up in front of a room and say, let me tell you 18 reasons why I'm better than you, I'm smarter than you, I'm more intelligent than you, I'm right and you're wrong. You know what I mean? That's a great way to alienate tons and tons of people from loving you and wanting to be around you. You know what I mean? But if I come out and you're building Amway and you're also building this other thing and you're also in this other thing, and I say, awesome, let's just help you make more money. Mm-hmm. There's no resistance to that. Right? But also, we're in this place where I can build a lot of conducive relationships with a lot of powerful people. And here's what I found. Let me tell you guys a story. And I think it's a good, I don't know if you have any other questions. We'll go one or two more questions, then we'll have the story. When we launched Empower Network, a buddy of mine named Tony got in. Okay? Now, I didn't know Tony's story at the time. Tony Rush, so you guys know him. This month, he's already over 80,000 with us. And when he got in, I was like, oh, cool, he did, right? And I just thought he was, just massively successful, which he had been in the past, right? And this is how I met Tony. We were in another company together that I'm still in. I still have a team in, because I don't leave something. If I build something, I don't leave it and then insult it and then say, hey, come join this thing. Instead, I'll just go build a new team, right? And because it's always a better strategy, right? But so Tony was in this thing like a year ago, but he had quit, right? And I'd known him because he was influential. Now, I didn't know his background. I didn't know what he was struggling with in his life. But we launched Empower Network. He got in. He thought it was like a little ClickBank schemey thing. He's like, I'll make some quick money and then I'll it'll be good. Well, he gets in. He emails his list a few times, right? And he made 10 or 15,000 or something like his first month. Just kind of sent a few emails out, right? We were launch mode. He had a few people on his list, but then his mom passed away. Now he was doing top tier. We were selling expensive stuff. Right, and you got to pound the phone to do that stuff, right? To be successful there, and there's no income if you don't sell, right? So he went into this depression mode all through December, and Empower Network paid for his Christmas, right? And then it was like January, he was in this funk, wasn't doing anything, and he looked at it and he realized, without doing anything, we were paying his bills. And he said, "This little schemey ClickBank thing, is like paying my bills,
Yeah.
And then he said, I wonder what would happen if I just threw some traffic at it."
Sure.
Right? And then his income that month it was 15,000. And this month, it's like 6 months after that, his income this month is already over 80. It's like 18 or 20 days in the month. It's in October now. Wow. He was in since launch month. Now, here's the thing though. You look at that, and Tony succeeded at everything I've ever known him. Here's what I didn't know. And this is why I'm speaking in this about the relationships. When Tony got involved with us, what I didn't know was he was burnt out at the end of his rope. And he was in a cave of depression for months and barely could pay his bills. And had I not had that relationship with him, see, here's why he got in. Is because we were in another deal and he thought he was doing good. And then I came in, I recruited like 200 people in a month, right? And he was like, who is this guy? And then he got on my list, right? And we just kind of kept in touch, right? Now, I had that relationship at the right time, right? The right time, and I kept it. So I never insulted what he did, right? But here he is, making more money than he's ever made with honestly less work, truthfully, Tony. Why? Because I was there for him. That's how you build a team, right? And if you act like that towards people, it comes back. It's a better way. I see people all the time on the internet, we have critics, like anybody, what I mean? It's hilarious now that I'm more influential. It's like, well, I got more critics too. It goes hand in hand. It's like I got more success and I got more critics, you know what I mean? So I got these people that are like, no, you shouldn't do this, and here's my 5 reasons why. It's like, and this person, every time I see one of those, I look at the person, and we have 80 people making more money than them, just an Empower Network, they're telling you 5 reasons why you shouldn't join it. You need to build a real business, I sell this ebook for $5. It's real. Right? And I look at it, I'm laughing. But the thing is you know who those people never recruit? Any of our leaders. You know who they get? The complainers and whiners.
Sure.
And you can have them. Because, we don't want them. We try to chase them away from Joe. We say, no, don't join if you're going to complain and whine. Right? So they get the people complaining when you're negative towards people. But if all you do is lift people up, I had an experience last year where I decided I was only going to write positive reviews. If I really don't like something, I'll just shut my mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you still piss the leaders off, right? Maybe personal conversation, I'll tell people what I think, but nothing recorded, never on a video, never in an article. So I wrote this review, actually on USANA, on my blog. But rather than writing like the USANA scam, you shouldn't join it, you should join my deal because this, which is the normal article. Right? What I did was I say USANA scam is, it says like the USANA scam, comma is USANA scam. It was like it had scam in the title, right? But then it was like a page of praise about USANA. That blog post has hundreds of comments from USANA leaders sharing it with their teams, right? Because I'm positive.
Yeah.
It's a better way to be. That's just my encouragement, to people watching.
Anyways, how much time do I have left on the memory card?
It's 29 minutes now.
Okay, I have 12 minutes.
Okay.
Last question.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut off this part. So my last question for you is, how important is having a mentor? And the reason I'm asking specifically is because so many people get on the internet. Maybe they're building their own marketing already, maybe they're not. But then everybody can buy a home study course. Mm-hmm. Everybody can buy training videos or whatever and watch them. But how important is it to have a mentor who you can call when you really, really need some help?
Well, it depends on where you're at in your business. It depends on what you need. This is what I'm going to say, okay? Because there's different phases of relationship where you're going to be in as you go through in your marketing. But what you're going to find is that there's a lot of different ways to do this that work. Okay, this is the big breakthrough. Some people are looking for the secret way. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm sorry, I don't know the secret way. I know there's a lot of ways that work, right? I know people that build through home parties and it works. I mean, you can't question the validity of home parties after we've seen what Visalis just did in the last couple of years. I mean, I ain't in Visalis, and I can tell you that. I mean, look, they built a massive empire in North America through home parties. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean I like home parties, right? Mm-hmm. But they work. Three-way calls work. I certainly don't ever want to do one ever. You know what I mean? Like I'm like Tom on that. You know what I mean? I told people in Empower Network that no three-way calls allowed. I don't like them, right? But they work, right? Hotel meetings work. They do them over here in Asia. They work phenomenally well. They also work in the States. I've built through hotel meetings. Now, I don't like doing them. I wouldn't mind doing them out here because the market's a little different. You know it is, right? But they work. The internet marketing, it works. There's a lot of things that work. What's important, though, is that you realize something. And this is what you need to realize. You need to realize that it's not just about making it work. It's about creating the life that you want. Whatever that is, right? Creating the life that you want and getting something to work is different things. So what you got to do is you got to find somebody with the life that you want. Now that's a little tricky, but here's what I've learned, is if you can take something and model it, right? You can do whatever somebody else can do better, quicker, and faster. But if you try to take it and you try to go from scratch, right, from zero, because you're better. Everybody says, I'm right. You know? Isn't that funny? It's like there's 6 billion of us, right? Now here's what I learned, okay, about people. Hold on a second. Let me finish this up. Hello? Yeah? Yeah? No. But I actually got to run. I'm making a video. Is this Arthur? Oh, this is Dave? Okay.
You want to get up?
Oh no, it's fine, man. Don't worry about it. I'll talk. I'll chat when we get downstairs. I think I saw that email. So yeah, I gotta run because I'm making a video, but I'll be right back there. I'll be right down there and I'll chat with you guys. Okay, cool. Okay, so what I was saying is, you can leave that in if you want. It doesn't matter. So what I was saying is, is this is what I learned. Okay, this is what I learned, and this is where we got to come to a place, a little bit of humility. Okay, in life. Is because I used to want to be right all the time. Mm-hmm. Like I used to, my desire in life was to be right about everything. Right now, I'm still naturally like that. My dad loves being right about everything. Right? A lot of us are wired like that. But here's what I realized. I realized that your nervous system is wired in a way that takes in over 2 million bits of information. It's like every 2 seconds or something like this. Right? Now, your conscious mind, what you're paying attention to, and what you think and believe, and all the things that you hold in your mind, can only pay attention to 5 to 7 things at once. But your nervous system is taking in 2 million pieces of information at once. So you're paying attention to 5 to 7, and you're taking in 2 million. And you know what that means? It means that 1,999,995 of the things that are going in your nervous system you're not paying attention to at all. You're deleting, you're distorting, you're creating generalizations that distort reality. Right?
Oh, geez.
Hold on there. Hey, I gotta go. Hey, is this Dave? Oh, hey Dave, I'll be down in like 5 minutes. I'm almost done with this video. Alright, cool, man. Alright. So, you distort everything around you, right? For example, you're watching this video, you might not be paying attention to the edges of the computer screen, what's going on in your peripheral vision, the fact that your heart is breathing, the fact that you're breathing, the rate of your breathing, what's going on at the bottom of your feet, what your pants feel like on your legs, are you even wearing pants? I don't know. You're on the internet, right? I don't know if you were watching before this video or what you're going to watch after, right? The reality is you distort, you delete, you generalize almost everything. So with this tiny piece of reality that you see, right, you create your beliefs that control the world, right? And everybody pays attention to different stuff. And there's 6 billion people that are paying attention to different pieces of information. Therefore, you ain't right. because you can't even pay attention to what's there. So I realized I can't be right. And I said, I just want to do it the way I want.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that a beautiful place to be? See, if you're watching this video, here's the challenge. How do you create the life that you want? For me, in network marketing, I got in network marketing, truthfully. I'm honest to God, to make money doing nothing. And then I discovered this beautiful industry of personal development, all those great things that we've got. But my goal was always to create leverage time freedom. I don't want to be on the phone all day for the rest of my life. So find a mentor that has the life that you want. And model that and learn to pay attention to the same stuff they pay attention to. That's how you can create results better, quicker, and faster than they ever could. My encouragement to you. So why don't you do that now? And if you're watching this video, I just encourage you to just join. I mean, honestly, here's the truth with the Power Network. If you don't like it, sometimes people get all iffy because they're like, you don't have a refund policy. Yeah, you're right, because what we say in the video is we say no wussies allowed, right? If you like to refund stuff and go try stuff up, go to Walmart, buy stuff, and then take it back next week. Don't get involved in the Power Network because there ain't no refund. However, you can cancel anytime you want if you don't like it, right? We're a little bit off the chain. We're a little bit off key. But you know what we do is we speak from the heart here. We let people teach from where they're at, and we let people be whoever they want to be, and we have an awesome community. And if you want to make money on the internet and you want to do it in a way that's leveraged and you have freedom, I'd say just don't be a wussy. Just get in and try it out. You know what I mean? I think it's as easy as that. And this guy's a great guy. I mean, he knows tons of stuff that I don't know. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty, guys, is when you have something where everybody can win, talent comes together. And it's way better to be unified than it is to be perfect all the time. That's the message from Power Network.
Well, thank you, David, for this interview, and look forward to seeing you at the next event. And I look forward to seeing you in the next live event. Take care now.